So the next constitutional body that we will discuss is regarding your favorite Union Public Service Commission. Okay, UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. So what does Union Public Service Commission do? In fact, Union Public Service Commission is the central recruiting agency. Fine. It is the central recruiting agency, which is an independent constitutional body mentioned in part 14 of the Indian Constitution, which is titled as the services under the Union and the states. And you have the Union Public Services Commission under article number 315 to 323. Okay, the purpose is recruitment. That's it. Do not get confused that the IAS officer gets the appointment from the Union Public Service Commission. No. The purpose of the Union Public Service Commission is that they will just conduct the exam. Fine. They will just conduct the exam. They will see whether you are qualified or capable to become the IAS officers or not, or the civil servants or not. They will prepare the shortlist and they will in fact submit the list to the Government of India. And even if you are rank 1, even if you are all India rank 1, it does not confer you the right to be part of the Indian civil services. You may be rejected even if you are all India rank 1 in the UPSC civil services examination, because the Union Public Service Commission is just a recommendatory body. Fine. And you will be, in fact, when there is, say for example, when there is a certificate variation and all those things, you will be in fact intimidated that your physical certificate variation is not, in fact, a guarantee to provide you an appointment. In other words, you feel that, okay, fine, I have cleared the exam, now I am going to be IAS. No, sir, that is not exactly the case. You are into the process now. The process gets started. Fine, but you will be in front of the limelight for some days. Rank number 1, rank number 2, great. Once the process starts, say for example, you have provided some fake certificates for reservation. Sir, you are disqualified. There is no further question, you are disqualified. If you are not economically weaker section and you say that I am economically weaker section, and when they ask for the certificate, you does not have the certificate. Okay, sir, bye. Or if the government feels or the government finds that you have copied in the examination hall, will they keep you in the service? No. So this is just a recommendatory body only. The Union Public Service Commission is a central recruitment agency, and they will have the right only to recommend to the Government of India, sir, these are the fittest candidates among those candidates who have appeared for the exam to serve India as the bureaucracy. So please consider them. That's it. Over. Fine. Other than that, all those things will be decided by, in fact, those will be decided by the Government of India. Fine. So when you talk about the functions of the Union Public Service Commission, of course, we have said that these are only, or the Union Public Service Commission is only a recommendatory body. Only a recommendatory body. And the main purpose of Union Public Service Commission is that the selection process to all India services, the central services, and even the public services of union territories. Okay. So for union territories, you does not have, in fact, a special public service commission, because the UPSC will itself conduct the examination for the posting in the union territories also. Fine. So the union territories will also be, in fact, having the bureaucracy selected by the Union Public Service Commission. So all India service, central service, as well as the public services of the Union Territory, the examination will be conducted by this recommendatory body, which is the Union Public Service Commission. The jurisdiction of Union Public Service Commission can be extended by an act of parliament. See, other than this function of the Union Public Service Commission, the Parliament of India can in fact ask the Union Public Service Commission for even the conduction of exam for any other particular services also. Rather than these particular services, the Parliament can extend the power of Union Public Service Commission. So if you get a question like this, which among the following has the power to increase the jurisdiction of the Union Public Service Commission? Who has the power? The power lies with the Parliament of India. The Parliament of India can in fact legislate an act of the Parliament in which the Parliament can extend the jurisdiction of the Union Public Service Commission. Now, the Union Public Service Commission also will submit the report to the President of India. Fine. Regarding how many of them were recommended, how many of them were not chosen by the government, what are the reasons that was given by the government of India for not choosing these representatives or these candidates, all those things needs to be in fact submitted to the President of India. So all important constitutional bodies will report to the President of India. Now, when we talk about the composition of Union Public Service Commission, the Union Public Service Commission consists of a chairman and other members appointed by the President of India. Fine. The Union Public Service Commission consists of the chairman and other members appointed by the President of India. Sir, how many members? How many members? The number of members will be determined by the President of India. Generally speaking, there will be 9 to 11 members. Okay, generally, usually there will be 9 to 11 members, but that won't be a question for you because this can be varying over time. Fine. So generally speaking, there will be 9 to 11 members in the Union Public Service Commission. So now what about the qualification? Sir, no qualifications are mentioned in the Constitution of India. Fine. So for a person to be appointed as the Union Public Service Commission member, what are the qualifications mentioned in the Constitution of India? Sir, no qualifications are mentioned in the Constitution of India. But one thing is mentioned in the Constitution. What is that? Suppose if there are 10 members. Okay. If there are 10 members, 5 of them, fine, 5 of them, that is half of the total members, should be having 10 years experience working under the government of India or the government of the state. Fine. So 5 years, okay, sorry, 5 members needs to have the experience of 10 years under the government of India or the government of state. So that is one condition. Fine. Out of the total number of members, half of them needs to be having an experience of 10 years under the government of India or the government of state. But rather than that, at the individual level, what are all the qualifications are not mentioned in the Constitution. Fine. Yes. Now, when it comes to the term of the President of, the Union Public Service Commission members and the chairman, again, the same system is applicable here also. 6 years or 65 years of age. Okay. The members as well as the chairman will be having a term of 6 years maximum or 65 years maximum, whichever is earliest, he will have to move out. The resignation shall be submitted to the President of India. There is no doubt. The appointment is done by the President of India. The resignation needs to be submitted to the President of India. Now, what are the grounds for the removal of the UPSC chairman and members. Number one, insolvent. What do you mean by insolvent? What do you mean by insolvent? What do you mean by insolvent? You would have heard about undischarged insolvent. The term undischarged insolvent, where have you heard it? Undischarged insolvent. I'm sure that you would have heard this in economics, as well as you would have heard this in the chapter of Parliament also. Exactly. It is one of the disqualification of the members of Parliament. Okay. Undischarged insolvent. Now, what do you mean by undischarged insolvent? In fact, undischarged insolvent or insolvent means, suppose you have borrowed a lot and loads of money from the bank as loan. Fine. The banks in the state or in the country as loan. Now, the bank have in fact gave you the loan because of the reason that you are a civil servant. The bank thought you have a security of service. So you will be definitely giving back the money at the time. But all of a sudden, you are resigning from the civil services. Fine. You are resigning from the civil services. And you take a decision that you will contest for the election. And what you have is only liability. There is no income for you. You have only liabilities. Now you submit the nomination to an office which is determined by the Election Commission of India to contest the election to the Parliament. And that person will see your nomination. You will provide all the liabilities, but there is no income for you. What should be the perspective of Election Commission of India if you are contesting the election? Your nomination would not be accepted by the Election Commission of India. Why? Is it because that you are poor? No. It is not because of the reason that you are poor. It is because of the reason that you are owning a huge liability. Once you enter the seat of the member of Parliament, what will you do? You will in fact steal the money of public, isn't it? To solve the issue in the bank. Fine. So is that something which is likely to happen? No, that should not happen. So that is the reason why the member of Parliament has got a disqualification, which is undischarged insolvent. You will steal money, sir. If you does not have any income, what will you do? You will steal money, isn't it? So that is one of the reasons why you would have seen some of the members of the Parliament or the members of the Legislative Assembly, they will be having their own business. Their own business, isn't it? Say there is an MLA, PV Anwar. He is an MLA of Nilambur, and he has in fact an amusement park there. Is it a disqualification? No. Let him run his business. Politics is only a service, isn't it? If he does not have any business means, what will he do? He'll get as maximum as money from government. This is people's money, isn't it? So that is not the idea of politics. It is service. So similar to that, even when it comes to the Union Public Service Commission, if a person is insolvent, what will that person do? That person will say, suppose when you go for the interview, that person will say that, okay, fine, give me 2 crore rupees. I'll make you enter to the list as easy as possible. You don't even have to write the exam. Just come for the interview. Definitely your name will be in the list. Give me 2 crore rupees, 2 CR. You will sell your entire house because your ambition is to become a civil servant, isn't it? You will force your parents, father, mother, please do this. It is very easy. 2 crore rupees. It's my career. Put the ad in OLX, house for sale. Let it be solved. And I'll give the money to this person, UPSC chairman. He has assured me that I will be in the list. Such kind of thing, should it happen? No. So that is the reason why insolvent would be considered as a ground for disqualification or the removal. Fine. Paid employment as an engagement. He is not supposed to make a part-time office. Suppose he is a Union Public Service Commission member, he is not supposed to hold further paid employment. He can go for any service free of cost. Fine, that is done. That is okay. He can run an institution for just training the poor people, the poor students, free of cost. Yes. You might have heard about some government doctors. Are they supposed to do private practice? No. In fact, it's illegal. Okay, it is illegal. So what they would do is that there is a wonderful instance. See, in Trivandrum, there is in fact a doctor who is in fact a physician. I just don't wanted to mention his name. So one day I have visited him for an appointment, and once after the consultation I came out and I forgot to in fact give him the money. Now he did not ask me money also. He did not ask me money. I have in fact forgot to give the money. Now when I have entered the gate to exit, one of his assistant came to me and he has put his hand on my shoulders and we were walking. And in fact, he has told me, sir, you have not paid money. So I was just, oh, sorry, I did not. How much is the appointment fee? Sir, it is as per your decision. Which means he is not supposed to demand the appointment fee. Are you getting this? Why? Because he is a practitioner in the government hospital. Can he hold 2 offices at the same time? No. He can do it for free of cost. Once the government service is over, he can come at home and for the welfare of the people, he can do it at free of cost. But will anybody do that? But he is not asking for a fixed amount of money. There is no board that this is the amount of money you will have to pay for the appointment. Nothing is given here. There is no board like the appointment time is from this time to this time. No. There is nothing. But we will have to pay the money. And there is further one more interesting thing, that his medicine will be available only from one medical store in Trivandrum. Only one medical store. No further medical store will provide money for this, medicine for the prescription of this doctor. So that is an agreement which is created. And what will be the reason? He'll get the commission from that, isn't it? So it is not directly that is he is seeking money, but he is indirectly doing this. So such kind of engagement is strictly prohibited even for the UPSC chairman and members. Sir, you are paid. You are paid. Then why do you seek for further employment? Okay. Infirmity of mind or body, that is mentally unsound or unfit, can also be one of the reason. If in the opinion of the president, can also be one of the reason for the removal of chairman and other members. Now, removal in case of misbehavior. Suppose if the UPSC chairman and the members are removed in case of misbehavior, there are certain conditions. In fact, if the ground is misbehavior, the Supreme Court should be referred of this matter. Fine. If the charge, say for example, if the parliament, who will do this? The parliament, isn't it? We are speaking about the Union Public Service Commission. So if the matter is, so in fact, not the parliament, it is the president of India, not the parliament, it is the president of India. So in fact, suppose if the matter is misbehavior, there needs to be a Supreme Court inquiry regarding this. Suppose if the Supreme Court say that, yes, he is a person who has committed a misbehavior, then that will be in written submitted to the President of India. Sir, the person you have referred to me was misbehaving. Now, please remove this person. Is it binding on the President of India? Absolutely, it is binding on the President of India. In other words, even here also, we will have to maintain the independence of Union Public Service Commission. Fine. Whatever the decision the Supreme Court gives in writing to the President of India, the President should accept that decision. So again, when I talked about, in fact, the Comptroller and Auditor General, I have told you that if we speak about the removal of the Comptroller and Auditor General, that will be done by the President of India on recommendation of the Parliament. For what? For maintaining the independence, isn't it? Here, suppose if Mr. Modi says that one of the UPSC member needs to be removed on the ground of misbehavior, can he do that as per his decision? No. The President, sir, you are not supposed to do that as per your decision. You will have to first refer the matter to the Supreme Court, and whatever the Supreme Court say, it is binding on the President of India. If the Supreme Court say that this person is guilty, if the Supreme Court say that this person is innocent, then the President of India should definitely follow that instruction. The President of India, whether this President of India will have to wait for the aid and advice of the Prime Minister here? No. Why? Because even Union Public Service Commission also wanted to maintain independence. Okay. So you will see that all those things as part of this body. Now, during the course of inquiry, the President may suspend, in fact, that particular member or the chairman also. Fine. So that is what is the case with the removal of the chairman and other members of the Union Public Service Commission. Fine. When it comes to the security of tenure, or when you talk about the independence, of course, we have provided the security of tenure for the Union Public Service Commission members and chairman. The service conditions cannot be varied on to the disadvantage. Exactly right. The expenditure is charged expenditure. Again, the salary, all those things comes under the category of charged expenditure. Chairman is not eligible for further appointment under the Government of India or the government of the state. Again, what you see at the Comptroller and Auditor General is applicable to the Union Public Service Commission also. Members of Union Public Service Commission. So this is going to be very crucial. Understand, this is interesting. These 2 points are interesting. Member of UPSC can be chairman of UPSC or the State Public Service Commission. Fine. So you understand. See, first we have said that chairman is not eligible for further appointment under the Government of India or state. Sir, if you are the chairman of Union Public Service Commission, once your service over, it is over. That means you are not supposed to get any particular favor from the Government of India or Government of the state. But if you are a member of UPSC, not chairman, you are just a member and your service has got over, then there is a scope that you can be the chairman of UPSC, because you were in fact only a member. So there is a chance, there is a next promotion which is vacant. In that case, you can be chairman. You can be even chairman of State Public Service Commission also. Why? Because you have not served the office as the chairman of UPSC. Has he? No. Has he served as the office of, has he served in the office of the chairman of UPSC? No. So that he can in fact serve as the chairman of UPSC or the chairman of State Public Service Commission. The chairman or member, there is no reappointment to that office, which means there is no reappointment to the same office. Okay, so the condition needs to be very much clear for you. If you are a chairman, there is no reappointment. If you are a member, there is no reappointment to the office of member. Fine. If you are a member, you can be chairman of UPSC as well as state PSC. Isn't it clear? All these three things. Is it clear? If you are chairman, it's over. Once the service is over, your service conditions are over, means you are not supposed to hold further office. If you are member, means you can be the chairman of UPSC as well as the State Public Service Commission. If you are member, means you can be the chairman of UPSC as well as the State Public Service Commission. If you are member, you are not supposed to have the same appointment to be member again. That means once you are the chairman or the member, you cannot be reappointed to that same particular office. If you are a member only, you can be the chairman of UPSC or the State Public Service Commission. If you are in fact the chairman and your service is over, means you cannot be part of any office under the government of India or government of the state.